Hi there, welcome back to the YouTube channel. Down a bit low. I'm back again, another deck tech. And today, after yesterday's Wilds of a Drain deck, we're going back in time a little bit. We're going back to March of the Machines Aftermath for one of the legendary creatures that I never got around to covering. Mainly because no one ever had one in stock here on MTGO. And it's in stock now because no one's using it. So I've picked one up and, well, you all know what you're here for because you've hit the title of the video. It's Karn, Legacy Reforged. 5 generic mana for a legendary artifact creature golem, and Karn's power and toughness equals mana, greatest mana value of artifacts you control. So if the only artifact you control with this deck is Karn, he's a 5/5. That's right, 5/5, 5 mana. That's good. And at the beginning of your upkeep, add colourless mana for each artifact you control. This mana can't be spent to cast non-artifact spells, and until the end of turn, you don't lose this mana as steps and phases end. So we have a real dedicated artifact commander. I know we've had them before. People have played other ones. You have them multicolours. Obviously, I've covered Urza, who's probably, even though they're mono blue, is probably the best artifact commander out there. But this one, yeah, okay then. I think we had to cover this. So this is what the deck looks like. And for obvious reasons, there's literally no coloured mana in this deck at all. Well, in the lands anyway. Everything. So we've got Arch of Orkanza, Blast Zone, Blinkmoth Nexus, Bonder's Enclave, Drano 3 Runes, which does have a nice side effect. I do like the fact we can put a couple of +1/+1 counters on a non-human creature. And since all of them are artifacts, we should be able to do that every time we do this. I dropped in Field of the Dead. Technically, it taps for colourless mana. Technically, we've got so many different land types in here, we should be getting the zombies quite quickly when we see this come into play. And the rest of it's all here. Inventor's Fairs here, because we might as well gain a little bit of life for all the artifacts we'll have. Karn's Bastion, just so, well, with Karn decks, you might as well play his Bastion as well. There's a little bit of proliferate, not much. It does help with some of the cards. Miko, the Centre of the Sea, to draw some cards. Mistress Factory, Mistress Foundry, all the other things, Shrine, Reliquary, Temple of the False God, yeah, they're all here. Shrine's interesting because you actually get to play this and use this in this deck quite often, so it gives you another real Temple of the False God. For this point of view, it's actually slightly better than Temple of the False God in this deck. Boom, boom, boom. If we're going to play cards, suppose we better play as Mine, Power Plant and Tower, just so we can really hope to get that mana on the go. We've got a whole load of wastes, so there's no point in playing anything else in this deck. So, yep, my waste collection got slightly bigger to incorporate it all. And then I put some ramp in. Not too much, because, you know, it's colourless, so it doesn't matter. You just need lands and enough lands to play things. But I did chuck in Sol Ring. I've put in somewhere else. We've got Thran Foundry. I have got Mana Crypt in here. I have got Mana Vault in here. You can drop them out. Just play some old lands. And Everflowing Chalice. I will mention this. Easy to do in real life. In MTGO terms, be very, very careful that you make sure you click it to cast it and you click on multi-kicker. Don't just say cast, because you'll get a 0 mana artifact that has no counters on it or anywhere putting counters on there in this deck. So just bear that in mind. The rest of the deck, you can see, is, you know, for want of a better phrase, if you want to go old school, it is mono brown. And it is purely artifacts, so it is worth just going through it, I think, just to see some of the things that have come up in it. So we've mentioned all the ramps. So we've got Tantalite, Soul Talisman, they're all here. That's not a problem. Mem Knight, because it must have a 0-drop 1/1 artifact creature. Elixir of Immortality for when all our artifacts get destroyed. We can shuffle them all back into the graveyard and start all over again. Sensei's Divining Top, because, yeah, why wouldn't you in an artifact deck, realistically? You might as well manipulate the top of your library as much as you can. Signal Pest is quite fun. Gives a little pump to all our creatures, and it can't be blocked except by creatures with flying or reach. So it does pump through quite annoyingly. Spatial Contortion is just a little bit of colourless removal. Yes, I know technically it's a Eldrazi spell, but, you know, gotta get some removal in somehow. I've got Mine Worker in here. We have got the other ones as well. We'll get to them. I promise you, Tower Work is here and Power Plant Worker. There you go. I figured if we were playing all the artifact lands, we might as well play the things that work in those lands. Artifact lands? Urza lands, sorry. If we're playing all of them, we might as well play the things that work in them as well. So they're all here. Steel Overseer is a no-brainer in this deck. Pump up all your artifact creatures as they come into play. Thematic Compass eventually will go and fetch basic lands, and if I remember my things correctly, that does say basic land type on them for waste, so they should go and fetch wastes. But if you get the 7 or not, you get your nice little version of the Maze of Ith come into play, so that's pretty cool with this deck. And Treasure Cove, you can use your treasures obviously to cast things quicker if you get it transformed, or you just got your treasures there to sacrifice to draw a card and add a colourless mana when you get to flip to the cove from the map. So keep it going. Chief of the Foundry pumps all our artifact creatures. Crown of Gondor from the Lord of the Rings set. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 for each creature you control. When a legendary creature enters the battlefield under your control, if there is no monarch, you become the monarch. And then equip for if this ability costs 3 less to activate if you're the monarch. Yeah, okay then. I like being the monarch. Keep saying this, so this one comes in. Darksteel Mirror just gives us an indestructible creature. Filigree Familiar gives us something to block with and get a bit of life. Foundry Inspector makes everything cost less, so this is kind of key. Howling Golem. People don't mind this one attacking or having something blocked with it because everyone draws a card. Metal Worker. In real life, this is the card that makes this deck really expensive. On MTGO, it's not too bad. But just bear that in mind. Reveal any number of artifact cards in your hand. Add 2 colourless mana for each card revealed this way. Fantastic card. Will die as soon as it hits play, so make sure you can use it as soon as you possible. Now, I haven't put in Swiftfoot Boots. You can drop something like Mem Knight out if you want to and put the boots in, or put something else in to protect it. Maybe it's worth doing. I don't know. People sometimes forget, especially if you play when you've got hardly any cards in your hand. No one's going to worry about it, so bear that in mind. Anyway, Palladium Meow for more ramp. Scrap Trawler comes into play, or another artifact is put in your graveyard. Return to your hand target artifact card in your graveyard with less than mana value. Okay. Temple Bell gives everyone a way of drawing, so you keep friends with everyone. And obviously Tower Worker I've mentioned. Cosmos Elixir that gives you life for a card. Fonta Mythos gives you cards. Golden Guardian gives you a way to fight one of your creatures, kill off your Golden Guardian with a bit of luck, and then transform it, and then use mana every turn to create a 4/4 colourless golem token. That's cool. Helm of the Host. Do you know what happens when you have multiple Karns in play? You go stupid. So, yeah. Draw is familiar. Cut down the cost for our artifacts. Karn Living Legacy, I thought I might as well have the artifact version as well. The Power Stones are really good in this deck. Because you are casting artifact spells, you can use this to cast them. This is really good. Ooh. Get those extra free mana ramping on the go. Lowstone Golem makes everything cost more, which upset your opponents. Mystic Forge, keep your artifact spells going off the top. This controls the board and blows everything up. Slagstone Refinery. Or another artifact when it enters, whenever Slagstone Refinery or another non-token artifact you control is put into the graveyard from the battlefield, is put into the exile from the battlefield, create a tap Power Stone. Yeah, cope with that. Solemn Sim, go and get your waste and get a card draw. And Stone Retrieval Unit just comes into play. I played it because it gives me another Power Stone, so I get ramp even more. Yeah, throw out Dynamo I've mentioned. Blade Griff Prototype is a little bit complicated. Destroy target non-land permanent of that player's choice that one of your opponents control. It gives you a nice way of controlling the board, kind of. Hit someone who has got a flying blocker and they can kill up something if they have to take 3 damage. So it does work. You have to do a bit of negotiation. Clockwork Hydra, one of the targets for proliferate with Karn's Bastion. Might as well have it in the deck. Kadutha Forge Master is an artifact deck. Why would you not play one? Mind's Eye, whenever an opponent draws a card, you may pay 1 if you do draw a card. We should be able to do that fairly regularly. Mirror Matrix is indestructible, pumps all our mirror creatures and gives us somewhere to chuck all our mana into to get little mirrors. And the Mirror Turbine, tap it to give us a colourless mirror token, and then tap 5 mirror, go and find a mirror and put it into the battlefield. Yeah, okay. But it's just another way of generating blockers, basically. Power Plant Worker I've mentioned. Argavian Avenger, pay 1, gets -1/-1, and your choice of Flying, Vigilance, Death Touch, or Haste. Death Touch probably is going to be the one you go for a lot. Duplicate, just to remove something else and make a copy of it. Triskelion, you want to make sure you can play when you can do the Karn's Bastion thing, and you always want to make sure you've got the counters on here. It's a lovely way of just pinging things off the board as long as you can keep the proliferation going. Worm Coil Engine, yeah, okay, it's a Phyrexian worm, but still an artifact. And yeah, it's Worm Coil at the end of the day. All is dust means everyone else's stuff gets destroyed and ours doesn't. Mere Bathysphere is one of the few reasons to have the turbine in here, to go and fetch another Mere, because you can go and get this and get a whole load of extra tokens. Platinum Angel, yeah. And Triskelion, remove a +1/+1 counter from it to get a token and sack it. It has sacrifice this creature, it pings something. Another one that's great to proliferate up when you've got Karn's Bastion up and running. Cityscape Leveler, whenever you cast this spell, whenever Cityscape Leveler attacks, destroy up to one target non-land permanent its controller creates a tap Parastone token. And it's got an Unearth of 8, so yeah, this is a nice one to have in play with Karn. The next two are even better. Phyrexian Triniform is just fantastic. You get your 9/9 creature. When it dies, you get 3 golems. You go to the Encore it for 12 mana, which you can do quite happily with this deck because of the Power Stone tokens you create. Yeah, when those Encore tokens then get sacrificed at the end of combat, if you've still got 3 opponents in play, you end up with an extra 9 3/3 golems. And your opponents don't like it very much, tell you that for nothing. Portals of Phyrexia controls the board for you quite happily. Hangerback Walker does the whole +1/+1 counters. You can keep putting it on there, and when this dies, you get all those nice flying Thopters. Darksteel Colossus, yes, indestructible, fine. If it put it in the graveyard from anywhere, reveal it and shuffle it into its library. Metalwork Colossus, not as big, but still, it's metalwork, hasn't got become indestructible yet, so might as well have it in the deck. Mysakoth Golem. This was weird. Affinity for artifacts. And artifact spells you cast have affinity. It is possible to empty your hand once you get this in play. I think people forget about this from 5th Dawn from back in the day, but it's worth playing, especially in an artifact dedicated deck, so bear that in mind. And it's not too expensive to pick up on MTGO. Real life, not so sure. Definitely know this is keeps going up and down in price in real life, but on MTGO, again, not too bad. Yeah, Trample, Infect, Indestructible. The easiest way to win the game is to get this to hit each of your opponents. Yeah, and that's it. That is my little take on Karn. I do enjoy playing the odd brown deck, and this is one obviously I'm playing shortly. You'll see it on stream at some stage this week, so keep your eyes out for that. But in the meantime, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you're not subbed, come and sub here. If you're not following me on Twitch, come and follow me on Twitch. It's all down below. And leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know what artifacts I've missed out of this deck that you think I should have in here. But all I can say for now is thanks for watching, and I'll see you either on my stream or in the next video. Take care. Bye.